Hello, welcome to Let's Learn About American Government. I'm your host, Joseph Halloran. Today I have Ted Adams. He is chairman of the Constitution Party, South Carolina. Ted, good morning, and how long have you been chairman of the Constitution Party of South Carolina?
Joe, about 19 years. We formed the National Constitution Party first in 1990, and then about 1991 or 92 we organized the South Carolina Constitution Party.
Very good. And what is the Constitution and why is it important?
The Constitution, Joe, is a contract between the American people and their government. It limits the government's actions and authority over the people and the states. And it's a structure that had never been used in government throughout the world until it was done in America. We divided into three separate departments, as you know: legislative, judicial, and executive, and the power is balanced by the Constitution among those three entities so that there's no one entity that's more powerful than the others.
Okay, very good. And why do we need a Constitution Party, and what are the goals of the party?
Joe, I think we need a Constitution Party because if you think about it, if you look at over the past 40 years, neither major party has really represented the interests of the American people. 70% of the people wanted immigration stopped years ago, and it just simply has not stopped because the special interests that control the two major parties do not want it stopped. Education. This country, sadly, is about number 17 in the industrialized nations of the world. Each party has talked about improving our education system in this country, but it has just fallen further behind. If you are concerned about pro-life in America, we have the sad record of currently up to about 50 million children have been aborted, and I'd say 60% of the people at least want something done about that, but nothing has happened. The other thing is that both parties have spent us into bankruptcy. People objected to that. But in each party said, we're going to do this. And sadly, the Democrats under Clinton did a better job of balancing the budget than the Republicans have done in the last 20 years. The other thing, just more recently, was that we have had in the last election a significant amount of people who wanted an end of the war in the Middle East and get our troops back. They thought something was going to be changed, but nothing got changed. And we think it's because the Republicans and the Democrats are essentially one party. I think if you take a few examples and look at a few examples that will illustrate that, I think probably the most blatant example of the two parties being one really was during the last election when Obama and McCain were debating, and the subject of the Troubled Asset Relief Program was brought up, the TARP program. The TARP program, just to refresh our memories on that, was the government's giving $700 billion to the banking and financial industry while 15 million Americans were stranded on the unemployment lines. And there was no debate about the matter. There was no discussion. There was no differences. They all voted for the Troubled Asset Recovery Plan. And 3 months later, the bankers were giving big bonuses to their employees. if this was not a wake-up call to the American people, that why wasn't one party opposed to this? Why the Republicans? Well, they're supposed to be the more financially conservative party of the two, but nobody was worried about it at all. So that's why we need a third party. We need a party where the candidates can make known their stands on the issues, and the people can go to the polls and they can say, well, I'm going to vote for what I believe in. I believe in stopping, closing up our borders. I believe in life for the unborn. I believe in improving education for our children. And the candidate that's running as a Constitution Party candidate or a Libertarian or whatever, that's what I want. He advocates what I want, and I want to have a choice. So it gives the people a choice to have a Constitution Party.
Thank you, Ted. How can a concerned citizen, say for example of South Carolina, become involved in the Constitution Party? How can they join?
They can join two ways. They can call me up at 864-292-5001, and I'd be happy to talk to them. The other way they can join is go to our Constitution Party website, and it's scconstitutionparty.com. And there's an application link on the website, and send it in, and we'll be happy to get in touch with them and let them get started in being an active part of the electorate.
Well, thank you very much for your passion on the Constitution.
Thank you for coming. I enjoyed it with you, Joe.
Thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.